Good morning, Jose Marti staff. We are back with part 2 of our tutorial. It is a 3-part tutorial on how to input grades into the gradebook. It is also important to know this in order to get your final grades in for each marking period. So as I explained in the tutorial before, which was the video with the explanation from the actual Powerteacher company, that video was given to us by them. I posted that up just for your reference. But part 2 of this tutorial is actually going to be for those people who have already inputted some type of grades in the gradebook software that comes with the Powerteacher. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to open up my Powerteacher account. I'm going to log in. Okay, and again, this is for people who have been using this feature of Powerteacher. This is totally different from last year, any previous year. Previously, we were able to log in to Powerteacher, click the backpack, and we were able to physically write in grades. This year has changed with the addition of the gradebook, and the gradebook is actually going to be doing all of the grading for us. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do, as I've been doing, is log into Powerteacher. You're going to launch your gradebook from right here. You come to this page, and then you're going to press Launch Gradebook, and it should open up in a separate window. I am going to be blocking off the parts that show my students' names for security purposes. I don't want to be putting out that information. So just bear with me as we go along with this tutorial that there's purposely a black box on my over the names of my students. Okay. And again, it's just for security purposes. So as you come here, as you can see, I'm logging into my Powerteacher. I do have 2 classes here at Marti. They're computer classes. So I just want to show you how we do this. And as you can see, I've been using, to a small degree, I mean, I've been doing grades apart from here, trying to get used to this. I have a couple of grades in here. Okay. If you've played with the gradebook, obviously down here you have the breaking down of your grades. This can be edited. You can weigh your grades to whatever you want. You can add portfolio here. I've decided to keep it the way they have it, and I'm pretty much working with what we have. And I'm just going to give you an example here. First thing you need to do is have grades in here. And the way you go about that is by clicking assignments, and then you make sure you have your Q1 here. And you're going to add an assignment by pressing the little plus sign, and then you can name this whatever you want. I'm just going to do an example. This is an iMovie tutorial I did with my classes. And this was again, I can select what category I want. This was a project. You must please just check here and include in final grades. This is important. If you're putting in grades and they're going to count towards a final grade, please have a check here. You can add in grades that aren't going to count towards the final grade and leave that unchecked. But for purposes of getting an average for the end of the marking period, you need to have include final grades checked in. So that's it. I added this. This is good. I'm going to add this new assignment. Okay, I'm going to save it down here, and as you can see, it's been added. If I go to score sheet, there's a new category of grades there. So I know Christy did this, so I'm going to she received a 90 for this assignment. She handed this in. I finished grading it, and this is also a 90. And over here, she handed it in late, but she did give it in. I checked it over already. This is a 75 grade. As you can see, this is gradebook is going to keep a constant final grade average going. All right, you have points, you have final grades, and it's always going to keep that going. If you've been using your gradebook and putting assignments here, and you are happy with this final grade, Gradebook is automatically going to take your final grade and plug that in as the student's final grade. For whatever reason, you're not happy with that grade and you want to override it, what you must do is double click the final grade here, which is the 86. I double clicked it, and I'm going to do a manual override. When I do this, this allows me to put in the grade that I want her to have. And this is, again, this isn't what it was. This is done when you have other things in play, extra credit, whatever, and you want to manually change the final grade, the average that all the assignments have given you. You want to change that average to whatever you want. If you do not, if you want to leave it the way it is, you leave that manual override unchecked, and it will just export the final grade as given by all the assignments. But again, if you want to, for example, an 86 here, and I want to say, as an example, Chris, the student has done 3 extra credit assignments. So that grade should be an 80, a 90, let's say. So if that's the case, obviously the average here, as with all the assignments I have in, is an 86. But let's say I want to override that. I double click the 86. I would put manual override, and then I would change these two to whatever I want. So I would change this to a 90, change this to a 90. Even though the average doesn't add up to that, you can still change it. So as you can see, it's italicized, and it is pretty much saying a 90 for her final average. That's if you want to do a manual override. What's going to happen is Powerteacher Gradebook is going to export whatever your final grade is for Q1, which is over here. So whatever your final grades are here, that's what's going to be put on the report card. The next tutorial you will see is actually people who do not have any of these grades in or have not been using this. You must put in a grade here in order to get a grade for the first market period. And again, that is in our next tutorial. But for now, again, for people who have been using this to keep their grades, it's pretty easy. Your grades will be exported out. Whatever your final grade says here will be exported out. If you do not want this final grade, then you must double click and manually override that grade. Okay, and again, this is Mr. Navish with your tech tip. Video 3 is on its way. Thank you.